If you just tell us, what is the micro-madrasa? What does it teach? How many years does it take? Just, help us understand.
So Micro-madrasa was set up as a course to deliver Fard Ain, obligatory learning for Muslims. Those Muslims who unfortunately as children have not been taught their obligations, then there's a chance for them to learn obligatory, whatever's deemed to be obligatory. That's what micro-madrasa is. And the reason for the term micro-madrasa is when somebody hears the term madrasa, you're thinking about a traditional madrasa where you spend 7-10 years or more studying all the sciences. So as people don't get confused and start thinking that you're going to do 10 years course, that's not what micro is just almost like it's a miniaturized version of a madrasa where you're not learning all the subjects, you're just learning the essential subjects. And so with the micro-madrasa, at the beginning, there was a lot of changes taking place. Now it's pretty much set. So it's a 3-year course. In the first year, you learn 4 subjects. It's based in Liverpool and in Huddersfield. In Liverpool and in Huddersfield, Liverpool serves the Northwest, and Huddersfield serves Yorkshire and beyond. And so we deliver on Saturdays and Sundays. So it pretty much moves according to academic calendar from September up until what is it, June or mid-July. So we have 40 weeks of teaching in year 1. And again, myself and Sheikh Ibrahim and his wife in Liverpool are the teachers. So we have 4 subjects in year 1 where you learn Aqidah, theology, principles of belief based on a text known as Al-Kharid al-Bahiyya, which is known as the Beautiful Pearls. So the essential aspects of what a person is required to believe in terms of his belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, belief in the messengers and belief in the world to come. So over 40 classes, the students are taught that in year 1. Then you have fiqh. In Liverpool, you have an option to learn Hanafi fiqh or Shafi'i fiqh. In Huddersfield, there's only an option of learning Hanafi fiqh. And the Hanafi, I don't know about the Shafi'i fiqh. I think it's a text, Safinat al-Najah is taught there. Okay. But for the Hanafi fiqh, we use a text of Imam al-Mawsili, known as Matn al-Mukhtar, al-Mukhtar al-Fatawa. It's the text upon which the more famous work, Al-Ikhtiyar, is based upon. So, and even that, it's a summarization because I translated, but just selected the key elements. And we worked through that over 3 years. So in the first year, we cover essential areas around purification, and around half of the section of prayer is covered. And then the third subject in year 1 is Seerah, is the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's taught by Sheikh Ibrahim al-Siyafa, one of the most amazing courses that people will experience on Seerah. And then the 4th subject is Tasawwuf, spirituality, based around the book of Imam al-Ghazali, Bidayat al-Hidayah, the beginning of guidance, which is foundational principles of spirituality. So that's in year 1. And with that, a student has a lot of what he needs to learn. Then in year 2, for those who continue, in year 2, you continue with fiqh and in Hanafi fiqh. So you finish the sections on prayer, move on to the section fasting and zakah. They're also meant to do Hajj, but we don't normally on Hajj. But most of the ibadat, most of the sections of worship are covered. They're also taught Shama'il. So instead of Seerah, they're taken through a text. I think it's one of the Katani has text on Shama'il. So over 40 classes, they're taught about qualities about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his physical description, about qualities and ways and mannerisms of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they also taught tasawwuf, spirituality. Fiqh and spirituality, the 2 subjects that go through all 3 years. So in spirituality in year 2, they took Risal al-Mu'awan, Imam al-Haddad, the Book of Assistance, so which is taken on the principles that are learned in the beginning of guidance, but onto another level, exploring more of those principles. And then you have a 4th subject, which is Quranic Arabic, which is taught by Sheikh Ibrahim al-Siyafa, where he teaches based around al-Ajrumiyyah, the text of Arabic text of Ajrumiyyah, where he teaches rules of Arabic language in the context of the Quran. Then in the third year, with fiqh it changes, because then we move on to what's termed as mu'amalat and al-uqud. So we study financial contracts, we study the rules around marriage, we study miscellaneous areas like the rules on inheritance, for example. We try and cover the section on Hajj as well there. So we just try and complete the essential areas that a person needs to study in fiqh. Quranic Arabic continues from year 2 into year 3. Spirituality, Minhaj al-Abidin, Imam al-Ghazali, the way the worship of Imam al-Ghazali, taught by Sheikh Ibrahim in year 3. And then we have a subject known as integrated legal theory, usul, which brings together 3 subjects within one, which is where we teach the principles of ulum al-Quran, ulum al-Hadith, or ulum al-Sharia. So we teach the principles of Quran, principles of Hadith, and principles of sacred law. So that's what's taught over the 3 years of Micro-madrasa.
So, mashallah, it's quite an intensive program in which I would take it. This is what, every once a week, is it? We're talking about here?
Yeah, once a week over 3 years. Yeah, once a week.
And the time we're looking at is if it was in Liverpool, it's a Saturday from what time?
For the year 1, it's from, well, mashallah, we're flexible with times, but the official time's from around, I think it's from 10 till 2, I think it is. But mashallah, we're very flexible with time.
So, and term time would be from when to when?
September to July.
Runs that academic?
Yeah, but we also, I think actually starts at the end of August. But we also have an induction, we also have a promotional weekend. So I'll just mention that here. It's actually meant to take place before the end of this semester. We are going to have an educational week where we're going to let people know about what the course entails.
So at the end of 3 years, somebody committing a Saturday morning, early afternoon for 3 years, they would leave, inshallah, with what? What would the individual look like at the end of the 3 years?
Simply an educated Muslim. Somebody comes into Micro-madrasa, the assumption is that they know very little at the beginning. At the end of 3 years, that person's grounded in the essential understandings of his religion. If he wants, then he can take it further. If he wants to carry on studying, he takes it further. If he wants to move into other areas, if he doesn't want to do anything after that, then he's educated now. He knows what's right and wrong. He knows what it means to be a Muslim. So for me, the way I look at it is at the end of 3 years, he's an educated Muslim.
And it's open for sisters as well?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So there's a lot there for somebody to take and benefit from. Is there anything else? Let's say somebody can't commit for the Saturday. Is there any other courses that maybe, is it a kind of like a condensed form of this?
We have what we call an essentials course. And that takes place on the Sunday. In Liverpool, it takes place, in fact, Liverpool and Huddersfield takes place on a Sunday. And that's taught in Liverpool by Ustad Muhammad Abdullah, who's a student who actually came through the Micro-madrasa. And it's just condensed down to the core elements over 1 year, where a person is taught the basic points of belief, but it's not with a lot of other stuff thrown in there as well. And then also taken through key areas of worship. And then also there's, for example, things around an introduction into prophets and the prophets of Allah and the blessed figures around them and so on. So it's just like bringing it down to a skeleton level, just the essentials of what a person needs to do. And that's almost like a stepping stone that allow a person then to move on and to take it a bit more seriously, moving on to Micro-madrasa. So that's an essentials course, which we started 2 years ago, I think it was, last year or the year before. So in Liverpool, it takes place on the Sunday. In both Liverpool and Huddersfield, it takes place on a Sunday, yeah.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. So just a quick recap in terms of the Micro-madrasa. In year 1, the subjects are fiqh and...
So in year 1, fiqh, aqidah, spirituality, seerah. In year 2, fiqh, Shama'il, prophetic qualities, Quranic Arabic, and spirituality. And in year 3, fiqh, integrated legal theory, spirituality, Quranic Arabic.
MashaAllah. You've mentioned the Arabic. I believe there's a course that you're doing teaching Arabic. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because that's one of your biggest passions. It's been certainly something you're very well known for, your passion for the Arabic language. Just tell us something about what you're teaching and what course you have now in terms of the Arabic language for people who want to learn the Arabic language.
So yeah, when you said something about having a passion in Arabic, it made me smile because if you ask most students that have studied with us, ask them what is the subject that Harun enjoys the most. Most of them will say fiqh. I say it's not. Most of them say it's fiqh. It just so happens that's the main thing that I have to teach because that's the most important need that people have. For me, the thing that I enjoy more than anything else of all subjects is studying Quran through the lens of Arabic language. That's just a complete that's exposure to Quran and the Sunnah, using through there you see the miracle revelation. That's where you see the miracle revelation. It's Quran. As you're studying Quran through Arabic language, you see the miraculous nature of revelation. And so when people like they may be critical about certain ayat of the Quran, may be critical about certain hadith, so you've not enjoyed it, you've not felt it, you've not tasted it. And to do that, and for me as well, like going back to the beginning, we spoke about my journey. I was blessed and fortunate in that I studied like qawaid al-nahu wal-sarf wal-balagha and all these sciences around Arabic language. I studied them in Arabic, not in English. I studied them in Arabic. So I'd already learned how to speak Arabic, and then I'm getting taught the rules of language in a language that you understand. Very different experience to teaching or to studying the rules. Like you're told about this is marfu and this is mansub and this is majroor and this, like these are all like technical terms in grammar. If you have no reference point in language, it becomes difficult. So what we then did, and this is about 5-6 years now, Humayun was one of the first who used to turn up there occasionally. We introduced parallel to Micro-madrasa, separate of the madrasa, parallel to it. We introduced what we term the Arabic-madrasa, which was a course that was exclusive about getting people to speak Arabic. That's all it's about. In terms of studying Quran through Arabic and so on, that comes later, or it comes through the Micro-madrasa where we have the modules of Quranic Arabic. So it's all what's in muhadatha. It's just all from the beginning to the end over 3 years, where we just get students like speaking Arabic, and so we do it over 3 years. In the first year, we set a target. It's a very intense course, and we have 1 or 2 here who are doing the course, and they can testify. It's a very, very intense course. But by the end of the year, by the end of 1 year, even if you couldn't speak Arabic, if you do everything that you require of the course, you'll speak Arabic. Simple level, not high Arabic, but you'll be able to hold a conversation comfortably in Arabic. Year 2, we continue it. So you have to give students fluency in Arabic. In year 3, just to take them to a higher level within it. So that's the Arabic madrasa that we have, which is purely focused upon getting people to speak to speak Arabic. Just as a promotion for that, unfortunately, the post that hasn't come out. It was due to come out today, and we're going to share it. And I'm going to ask you, the Islamic Center, to share it amongst us. We have. Let me just check the dates. What we're calling the Arabic Week, which will start on June the 29th. So that's in 2 weeks, so it's Monday the 29th up to Sunday the 5th of July. That week, which is 2 weeks away. We're gonna be promoting and telling people what the course is about. So on the Monday, people are allowed to observe the actual Arabic class, so they can come in and just as observers watch it. On Tuesday, we'll give a taster class for those who've never learned any Arabic before, just a 1-hour session. We just show you how you get taught Arabic. Wednesday, we'll have a lecture about Arabic, the language of revelation. Thursday will be a breakdown of the course itself, and then Friday and Sunday again experience the class where you're able to come and observe the course. So that's going to take place in 2 weeks' time. We're calling it the Arabic week, where one day, every day of the week, that you can come and experience something about learning Arabic.
You can send that to myself, and I'll make sure that both University of Liverpool and Jomo's Islamic societies, they promote those things, inshallah. So send them to me, and inshallah, we'll get them up there and get people to know about them, inshallah. There's something you have called the Rawda. What is the Rawda?
Rawdat al-Atfal is a madrasa for children. Madrasa for children, which took place in Felicity House, but now it's online at the moment. So children from the ages of 7 up to 12. At the moment, 7 to 10, but it will be 7 till 12. And it takes place Monday to Friday, 2 hours. It's about 1.5 to 2 hours from, 4:30 to 6:30, 2 hours, in which the kids are taught a few different subjects. Amongst them is Quran. They're taught how to read Quran. They're also taught the Arabic language. They're taught like the essentials, like fiqh, and basic a lot of stories around the Prophet, things for kids like du'as and sunnahs, and so we put that into them from a young age. So that's been going for 3 years, and that's for children. That's based in Liverpool at the moment. It's just based in Liverpool. No.
And how's that been? How have you seen that? Because it's very different to perhaps how we were taught when we were young in the mosque or
in Arabic schools. Well, when we can't beat the kids, that's what. Even though I swear to God, man, sometimes those kids, man, you understand why teachers want to beat them. Sometimes those kids are out of it there. But yeah, no. What we're trying to do in this is...
Disclaimer for anybody listening, he's actually joking here, inshallah. So in case anybody heard this, inshallah, I can vouch for it that it's a joke what he's saying.
Are you sure? No, I'm joking. Thing with children, the thing about teaching children is that you've got to get them to love learning, and that's a change. Even adults, but adults consciously, those want to learn, they'll come and learn. Whereas children, the parents are putting them and saying that we want to make them love what they're learning. As an example, like in the Rawda, I'm one of the Quran teachers in this. So I'm responsible for the Quran part of that. And alhamdulillah, most of the kids won't give me a break. Like at times when they're meant to go on a break, and no, we want to read another page, and some of them want to stay behind and carry on reading. And when it's like that, you're not going to turn them away because you don't want them to lose that love. So we had, for example, kids 3 years now, start from Alif Bata, who couldn't read anything, and now, mashallah, like one of the most proudest things and the happiest moments in Ramadan for me, particularly with the Quran, is that we set over 3 years the children being developed in their reading. Some of them from scratch, they couldn't read just Alif Bata. Now, mashallah, they're fluent readers of the Quran. And so just before Ramadan started, we set them all a target. Those of you who can read Quran, we want you to do a khatam of Quran in Ramadan. And we're going to do a collective khatam. And at that point, there's about 26 students who will read the Quran out of the 50 odd. And there's 26 of them. MashaAllah, one of them did 4 khatams of Quran in Ramadan. One of them did 4 khatams of Quran. This is a 10-year-old boy, and one of them did 4 khatams of Quran in Ramadan.
Just to clarify for people listening, a khatam is what exactly?
So we asked them to finish a whole Quran, to read the whole of the Quran in the month of Ramadan. So, and they rose to the challenge. And over 25 of them did at least read the whole of the Quran at least once. So one of them did it 4 times. Another one, actually about 5 or 6 of them did it twice. There was a large number of them who finished the whole Quran once. And even those who had just moved on to the Quran, we set them a target. Right? Okay, now you finished like about half of the Quran or a quarter of the Quran. And even those who couldn't read, said, you're at home, make sure every morning you listen to Surah Yasin and every evening you listen to Surah Al-Mulk. And mashallah, they all rose to it. So on I think it was the last day before Ramadan finished, we had a khatam with just the kids, not nobody else. It was a khatam, and it was such an amazing. We actually got the kids to read the surahs as we finished the Quran, got them to read the dua, and like they were buzzing off it. And so like the hope is that a seed is planted in their hearts when they're adults now. Like they have that love for the Quran, they have that love for Arabic, they have that love for the Sunnah. So it's about making children fall in love with these things.
And this is something that most of us perhaps who learned or were taught the Quran when we were young wasn't taught in this way. It was taught in a way in which you either memorize it, you were beaten or you were smacked. So a lot of people's understanding or the memories of the Quran is associated with being hit. And I think that's damaged a lot of people, certainly in my generation and perhaps generation above me. It damaged their relationship to the Quran, and that there's very bad memories there attached to the Quran. But alhamdulillah, I applaud this renewed way of teaching the Quran, which is, mashallah, perhaps the only way to teach the Quran is to infuse the muhabba, the love, especially with children. Otherwise, they will end up loving that which is not deserving of their love. Mashallah.